Hello everyone, it is Christian here of the Calcio Bros, and that means when my videos come up, it means another round of Serie A has come and gone. Round 33 has just finished, and it just makes things every much the more necessary for teams to pick up necessary points, and especially losing now is very crucial for what they want to achieve. So dropping these points can be a big no-no right now. But also to recap the fact, we did have round 32, which was a midweek game. I just thought I didn't have the chance with work, so I just thought I would relate the scores and just share my thoughts of what we've seen in the last couple rounds. So let's start off with round 32. Like I said, a midweek matchup, and it had one game on Tuesday, which was April 20th, which was Verona Fiorentina, where La Viola got a huge win in their fight for survival, and they continue to go away from the relegation zone. Now moving on to Wednesday, April 21st, 12:30, had Milan hosting Sassuolo, where the Nero Verdi went and came back to beat the Rossoneri at home. So Milan struggles at home do continue, and that was a huge loss for them, especially in these two last rounds. We'll get why and what's going on with Milan shortly. At 2:45, we had several games here. Udinese, Cagliari, and that had the Sardinians take a huge 1-0 victory away at the Diacha Arena. We had Spezia Inter, where Spezia holds Inter 1-1, even taking the lead first in the match, and Spezia also taking away 4 points at home to Milan and Inter, so that was a huge point for them. Juventus coming back to beat Parma 3-1 at the Juventus Allianz Stadium. I keep calling it Juventus Stadium. Genoa Benevento 2-2, and another huge game for relegation. Crotone Sampdoria, the visitors taking the victory 1-0. Bologna Torino finishing in a 1-all draw. Then on April 22nd, the Thursday, opening at 12:30, Roma hosting Atalanta. Atalanta had a 1-0 lead, but Roma managed to tie it late in the match thanks to Brian Cristante. So they managed to get a big result for them. And then to end off around 32 on that same day at 2:45 was Napoli Lazio, which finished in a 5-2 thriller of a match. So Napoli with their huge win, and they continue a fine run of form. Now going on to what happened this past weekend for round 33, opening up on Saturday, April 24th. We had Genoa Spezia. Now Genoa grabbing 2 goals in the second half, and that's a real crucial victory for them as they continue to move farther and farther away from the drop zone and really condemning others to quote for relegation. Because at 12 p.m. we had Parma hosting Crotone, and Crotone taking the victory 3-1. Parma managed to tie it up in the second half, but a Simi penalty secured the victory for the Calabrese side, and that was Simi's 19th goal of the season. And this is why Stroppa should have played him. He really could have helped save Crotone a lot of points throughout this. Now, if Crotone actually lost this match, and the way that other results worked out, then Crotone would have been relegated. Would have been relegated to Serie B, and their season would have technically be over. But with this win, it is a slim chance that they could survive, but it is very slim, especially depending on how their few games go in the next coming weeks. Now, ending off the Saturday, it was Sassuolo Sampdoria, where Sassuolo continued on their fine streak right now, securing another crucial victory, inching closer to Roma for that 7th spot. So they are really playing some great victories as of late. Sassuolo deserve to be regaining form now and looking perhaps stealing away that 7th spot from the Giallorossi. Moving on to Sunday on April 25th, opening up at 6:30, we had Benevento Udinese, where the Friulans took the victory here at Benevento with a 4-2 win, and Benevento really really are struggling now. They have one win in their last 17 games, and that win was against Juve as well. So it's weird that you can beat Juve, but now you're starting to struggle, and they put themselves in a relegation battle. And it's crazy to think that they had such a strong start to the season. Like, it's incredible. Then we go on to all the 9 a.m. fixtures as well in Serie A. We actually had two games that morning. So we had Inter Verona, where Matteo Darmian scoring a huge goal for Inter once again, getting the slim victory. And they managed to get an inch closer to the Scudetto. Darmian once again coming clutch for Conte's men. Going on to the other 9 a.m. match, which was a heated game between Fiorentina and Juventus. Vlahovic got an early goal in the second half, which put his side up before the break, but unfortunately Morata, within minutes, or not even minutes, seconds of coming on, scores an absolute beauty to equalize, but it finishes level here and does hurt Juventus's chances right now of Champions League football, but still a few rounds to play for and really shake things up. 12 p.m. we had an upset here on the cards. Cagliari, Roma 3-2 was the final result, with the Sardinians picking up a huge victory and picking up a third consecutive victory. So that is huge for them in their fight for survival. They've started to move up in the standings and been able to really mount themselves a chance to stay in Serie A. Now at 2:45, Atalanta Bologna. This finished in a 5-0 thrashing of Mihailovic's men. Red card did help as well, as even though it was 2-0 at the half, but the red card really didn't help. Ladea really running away with it and putting into contention for the right to be in Champions League once again. Now ending off round 33, we had two matches on Monday, April 26, 12:30 was Torino hosting Napoli, where the Partenope went and took the victory 2-0 here. Gattuso's men also finding form and starting to get back into that top four places right now. And then to end off the match day at 2:45, Lazio hosting Milan, and this one ended in a heavy defeat for Milan. The Biancoceleste finishing it off 3-0 here. So those were the results of round 32 and round 33. Hopefully I didn't go too fast there. But what were some initial thoughts of yours about these results? Be sure to let me know. Comment down below. So now, let's get into the one main thing here. We'll discuss Inter first of all. Inter, again, were halted the last couple games. They drew 2 games to Napoli and Spezia, but then go on to win against Verona with a massive goal from Matteo Darmian once again. That puts them just an inch closer to the Scudetto. Conte getting everything ready. They are just 1 or 2 wins away, depending on how results go. They could actually clinch it by next weekend. But they've played well without, again, not taking it away from Conte. He knows how to take those outside teams and really push them to the next level, and he has done that after, yes, some early season disappointment, especially with the Champions League. He has started to find his footing, managed, yes, with the 1 game a week, it did help, but he has managed to find a team together, the winning strategy, and it's coming together for the Nerazzurri. But they have managed to put a lot of consecutive results together, have not lost in months. So the huge kudos to Conte for doing this, and he is really getting together the team that will finally end Juventus's reign over Serie A. So huge result. Remember, they had not lost since January, so it has been months since they have beaten or have lost. But they definitely can't lose the Scudetto now. They really can't. With some of the games upcoming, they are definitely winning it within the next couple weeks. Tough to say for them to lose it. Excuse me. But I really don't think they will lose it. Kudos to them. Well deserved. Lautaro Martinez, Lukaku really strike partnership well. The defense, Bastoni, De Vrij, Skriniar, they have worked extremely well. Handanovic, I can't say he's had his moments this year. He did play that, I believe we could say his biggest game of the season was the derby against Milan, where he did pull those two miraculous saves at the start of the second half. Those really, because if he let those in, then I feel like that game would have been different and perhaps the season would have been different. But he has had his moments where he did cost his team some goals and could have, even against Spezia, he definitely could have saved that one, I feel, as it did go under him. But again, credit to them, credit to the team. They've pulled together and just continued to find ways to win. I know a lot of people are saying the Scudetto will be determined at the end of the season, but it doesn't seem so, because by the time Inter Juve do face, it looks like Inter will already be crowned champions, unless, again, something does not happen at all. I really, really doubt that Inter could lose it, especially, yes, Atalanta is only 11 points behind, but it really shouldn't matter. But then going on to some of these other teams, Napoli, Juve, Milan, Lazio, Atalanta, they are all battling it out for the top four spot. Now, Atalanta, again, they're on an undefeated streak as well. And they're playing exceptionally well to maintain these results. Yes, they were halted aback. They had not lost. They had not lost a game since Inter had defeated them, but they still go on a great run of form. 6 wins in their last 7, so that is huge. They've managed to claw their way back into the top 4, play exceptional football, attacking football, really dominate other teams. If they can clinch their spot soon, then it's fine when it comes. But if they continue winning, they're gonna get the other teams really a chance to worry about where they are. Because Atalanta still have to play Milan as well. They did defeat Juve. They have the head-to-head. I can't. I feel like they've played Napoli already, but I don't even remember. Tough to say. I can probably look into that. But anyways, again, huge momentum for them. Their schedule isn't too bad going forward. They do have one big game against Milan as well. We can't really consider the Coppa Italia. Anyways, that's against Juve because it's right before the end of the season. But like I said, the only big game they really have is against Milan. 3 of the teams they're playing are against relegation threatened sides. So who do we think is going to win those games? Like, it's tough. The one team that I do say has the toughest schedule going forward is Milan. And now Milan is a team to really discuss now because they were winter champions going into 2021. Or no, sorry, they got it at the beginning of 20. When did they got it at the beginning of 2021 as they lost that opening game of the year, or no. Well, anyway, it's when they lost to Atalanta, yeah. Or anyways, it was at the end of the season, but it was in 2021. From winter champions to being almost excluded from the Champions League, they are abysmal right now. Sorry, excuse me. I finished work earlier, so I need to stay awake right now. But anyways, Milan from winter champions to being right now outside of the top 4. They are tied, but I'll explain to why they are outside. But anyways, 2 consecutive defeats to Sassuolo and Lazio. The points dropped against, again, Spezia, Udinese, Sampdoria. This one now against Sassuolo. Those points at home are what costing them. The points against these small sides are what are costing them. These are games they should have been winning. They should have won, and they drop points. So that is by the end. That's where Milan have to look at. Is it the time uh, to get rid of Pioli at the said Poli? Oh my God, is it time to get rid of Pioli by the end of the season? Maybe, because especially if they want to be competitive, they need that competitive coach. And it is a trend though with Pioli's sides. They do extremely well at the beginning, but then they do falter closer to the end of the season. Now, he does have that tendency. Is he completely to blame for this run? Maybe partially because of the way he's implementing his tactics, substitutions, those decision makings, yes, aren't his fault. But you can also give the partial blame to the players. You know, before we would know Milan too, once they were 2 goals down, they would fight back. They would play with spirit. But now it's like as soon as they let in a goal, they have their heads down. They can't get a pass together. They look deflated. And yes, and some injuries haven't helped. And I guess with the absence with Ibra, that leadership on the field, they have missed that as well. But Milan did overachieve for so long. They should have not cemented, but winter champions, added 3 key players in January, and it doesn't really help them now going forward. So it's is it really time for a change? There's rumors too of Donnarumma and Çalhanoğlu leaving as their contracts expire. Is that a distraction for the players as well? There's all these extra things on the line, these distractions, but right now these players should be focusing on the season and trying to get back on the high horse into the top 4 race, because Juve's still up there, but they're struggling. They could be the ones to kick out. And I know the Milan Juve game at the end of the season, or in a couple weeks time actually, sorry, is going to be crucial. And yes, I did say earlier too that Atalanta Milan are playing, so those are going to be 2 huge matches. And the thing with Milan is that every team that they're playing against now has something to play for. They're playing 3 sides who are fighting to save their lives in Serie A, and 2 that are qualifying for Champions League. So right now they have to they have to win almost every game. It will be a tough ask, but they need to get something out of these matches. They really need to change their mindset going into these games to change it. And even going into the other teams now, Napoli are starting to find their form. They're undefeated in their last 4 matches. Juve, yes, they did hiccup against Atalanta, but they picked up the points they needed against Parma. They did draw against Fiorentina, but Fiorentina did play well. But that's the thing. If Milan need to take advantage of the slip-ups from the other sides. But if they can't do that, then do they really deserve it? Juventus could potentially lose out also on the Champions League spot if they continue to slip. Their schedule might not be that easy as well. They do have Inter, but by the time they play Inter, they'll probably already be champions and may not play the strongest side. There's Inter, there's Milan, there's Sassuolo, there's Udinese. So 4 tough matches before they end off against Bologna, but those next 4 matches, because Udinese can still make a team struggle. And again, the game against Milan is a must-win for both teams. The game against Sassuolo, De Zerbi really knows how to get his side to play against these top teams and could really cause any side trouble. And then again, the Derby d'Italia the season could already be decided, but the Champions League spot, so Juventus may have already more to play for. And who knows if Inter will put out their strongest lineup against the Bianconeri. So it's still tough to see who will make this top 4. Lazio are creeping up there. They do have the game in hand. They are within 5 points of Milan, or the top 4, we'll say, top whatever you want to call it, but they're getting up there. So maybe it's time to get into the standings, but I just want to talk like Lazio creeping up there. Roma definitely doesn't look like they will get there, so their focus probably maintaining that 7th spot and getting the perhaps Europa League trophy to qualify for Champions League, especially that they know top 5 will probably be out of reach. Or sorry, top 4. But anyways, those are some quick thoughts there. I'll talk a little bit more now as we get to the standings. And like I said, going to the bottom, I always like going to the bottom first before going to the top, because lots more to talk about. Crotone got that huge victory, and if they didn't win, they would have been relegated officially, mathematically. But they got to win, keeping their points alive. But basically, even if they win every game, well, actually, still until they're mathematically out, it's tough to say. But anyways, Crotone with 18 points. Parma with 20 points, so that really puts a damper on them, especially losing out to that game against Crotone. Then we have for 18th, Benevento sit in that last spot right there with 31 points, but we also have Cagliari tied at 31, Torino tied at 31, but also have a game in hand. Then we have Spezia at 33 and Fiorentina at 34. Now, Genoa is also at 36 points. I do feel Bologna, who are at 38, are probably safe. But the 5 point gap between those teams and Genoa is close. Genoa, maybe with one more win, could just save themselves, and they do have some crucial games coming up. But I feel it'll probably be between Cagliari, Benevento, and Torino. Spezia, depending if they can get another crucial point, depending on how other teams do, could save themselves. And after an impressive season so far, but it's tough to say because again, Benevento had such a great opening start of the season, but picking up only one win so far this year is just abysmal and not what they needed. They really need something to change their fortunes around after a record-breaking season in Serie B. They really have been terrible. Cagliari is starting to pick themselves up a bit. 3 consecutive victories, and they are really finding themselves and putting the pressure now on the other teams to get wins. And Torino, trying to recuperate that game in hand against Lazio will be tough. That is a must-win for both sides as well. So it'll be interesting who will be able to capitalize on that. But some points from any of these teams are really going to be crucial, especially depending on who they're going to play. So keep an eye out to see who could perhaps be that third team going down to the bottom. Now, moving up to the top of the standings here, like I said, Roma are in 7th, but at 8th spot we have Sassuolo, 3 points behind Roma. So if Sassuolo finish 7th, they can get that Europa League spot. But if Roma finish even outside, or if they don't finish in the 7th and finish lower than Sassuolo, if they win that Europa League trophy, then they are getting the Champions League and kicking Sassuolo out of Europe, as we were only allowed 7 teams in Europe. Moving up, we have Lazio at 61 points, 5 points behind Milan, Juve, Napoli, but also with a game in hand. Milan are sitting outside now, the top 4 behind Juve and Napoli, who again tied at 66 points. Atalanta second with 68, and Inter, of course, first with 79 points. Now, so with Milan, Juve, and Napoli situation here, like I said, they are all tied with 66 points. The way it works, even if so, I know Juve still have to play Milan, so that could even shake things up a bit. But the way it sits right now, as they are tied points, they can't really consider head-to-head because then it's just weird. So basically what they do is they create a mini table between the three of them and how much points they've accumulated off each other. So, of course, Napoli and Juve are both on top of Milan because, again, Milan. So, if you work it out, Napoli has 1 win against Milan, 1 win against Juve. That is 6 points. Same thing with Juve, a win against Napoli and Milan. So, Milan only have the 1 win against Napoli. They still have yet to play their game against Juve. So, they need a win here. Then they can really change things up going forward. But that is why Milan sit outside the top 4. Even though they're all tied points, but even if Juve finish higher than Napoli or Milan have the head-to-head over Napoli, so that is crucial. Milan don't have it anymore against Lazio, especially after that heavy defeat as well. It'll still to play for against Juve, all to play for against Atalanta. So it depends. I know the one against Atalanta is a bit tougher as it did finish 3-0, but basically still a win for Milan in those two games are crucial for their Champions League aspirations, while Juve just have to make sure they keep momentum going forward, not slip and drop crucial points. Lazio continuing their run. Yes, they did lose against Napoli, but they are still positive going forward, getting wins when they need to. With Roma, again, like I said, it does seem like they're really struggling to hold on to the seventh spot and should aim for that Europa League. They only have one win in their last five, so that considering how they were second, third at one point is just unbelievable. Sassuolo could just take that away, 4 straight victories for them. And again, it just really depends on how Roma does in Europa League. So those are the standings. What do you guys think of it? Who do you guys will think will finish top 4? Can Milan come back, or will they go and complete their total collapse, finishing outside? Be sure to let me know. And who do you think will be the relegated teams? We probably know Parma and Crotone, but who do you think will be the 3 teams going down? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section. Alright, so now we'll go on to round 34 coming up. A lot of crucial games, like I said. So let's start off with Saturday, May 1st. Now, I know we're already getting to the getting there. It's already May, can't believe it. So 9 a.m. Verona Spezia. So this is a huge game for Spezia because a win could see them edge away from the relegation zone, so close to safety, and put more pressure on the teams that are under them fighting for survival. At 12 p.m., Crotone Inter. So now I do feel Inter will take this away and perhaps clinch their Serie A title. But again, it does depend on how Atalanta and the other teams do as well. But it's pretty much more on Atalanta's shoulders right now to keep the title at bay for Inter right now. All to play for still. This should be a win. I do not see Crotone taking it away unless they pull a surprise like Spezia and just helping Inter draw points. 2:45 Milan Benevento. So now after facing Simone Inzaghi, they will have to play their former legend and Pippo Inzaghi. So Milan have to take their form, turn it around now against Benevento, and take in Benevento's poor run of form. Yes, they did beat. That's one thing, but they did beat Juve at the Allianz. I keep saying Juventus Stadium, the Allianz Stadium. Milan have to turn it around. Let's see if they do get Ibrahimovic back from injury, because he has been crucial for them, especially. But they really have to change things. A win against Benevento could really do wonders for them, put them back up into second spot, and put the pressure on the other teams to especially win as well. We'll see if they can get the job done here. Now moving on to Sunday, May 2nd at 6:30, we have Lazio Genoa. So again, 2 important matches for these 2 sides. Lazio still trying to keep up pace with the race for the top 4, while Genoa trying to get closer away and not completely put themselves in that relegation battle. Lazio carrying the momentum from beating Milan this past weekend. Now moving on to 9 a.m. 3 matches to keep your eyes out. Bologna Fiorentina, Napoli Cagliari, and Sassuolo Atalanta. Now Fiorentina are playing a mid-table Bologna side. Have nothing really to play for, so they got to try to play their best if they hope to get a win. Same thing, move themselves away. Napoli Cagliari. Napoli could get a win here against a Cagliari side, but Cagliari have really looked in form as of late, so it's going to be a really tough match here. It's going to be a very tight affair. Let's see who can take the 3 points away, or will it finish in a draw. It's tough to say, but both teams need the wins to keep up in their race for Champions League and survival. Sassuolo, Atalanta, like I said, Sassuolo putting on pressure now on Roma for that 7th spot, while Atalanta want to maintain distance, and depending on how the other results go in the other games, they want to keep their distance as well from the other teams, and could put an insurmountable distance on the other teams as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do against De Zerbi's tough side. At 12 p.m., Udinese, Juventus. Now, Udinese pretty much clear of the relegation. Yes, there are 8 points, but a draw or win could probably do them. Well, here you could say, but playing against a Juventus side who can look fragile, and will hope to really exploit them with DePaul always looking on form. So we'll see if he can really put it together. Ronaldo scoreless in his last 3 matches. We'll hope to change it around against Luca Gotti's side here. We'll see if he's able to do that and maybe turn Juventus' fortunes around. 2:45 Sampdoria Roma here. Again, Sampdoria in mid-table, nothing really to play for, but Roma lots to play for if they want to maybe put the pressure onto Lazio, see if they can pick themselves up, get a little closer to their city rivals, but also keep distance from Sassuolo depending on how that matchup goes. It all depends, because this really could say how their season goes going forward for the last few remaining matches. Ending off round 34 on May 3rd on the Monday, which at 2:45 is Torino Parma. So a huge battle at the bottom here of the table. Really all to play for, because this huge win for Torino could really dampen Parma's chances of relegation, because it does depend on how Cagliari and Benevento do. Torino win could see Parma being relegated, and probably also Crotone as well. So these results will shape up on how pretty much Crotone and Parma do. Like I said, if Crotone do lose their next match, they will officially be relegated from Serie A. And Parma, it really does depend on how the Benevento, Cagliari, and Torino match all go this past weekend. So Torino, both teams fighting for Torino, Parma, both fighting for a chance of survival. Torino again also have the game in hand, so every point they can take away from those teams at the bottom will be crucial for them about who can really stay up. So those were the matches coming up for round 34. Be sure to let me know what you guys think of this upcoming fixture list. Sorry, I feel like I'm always speaking too fast here. But anyways, be sure to let me know what you guys think. How do you think some of these matches will go? Will Milan be able to turn their fortunes around, especially with the remaining fixtures they have? Inter most likely to clinch it. Do you guys agree? And who will be the ones being relegated and finishing in top 4? Don't forget to comment below. Let me know. If you haven't done so, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Calcio_Bros, for matchday updates, our thoughts, and just sharing some team news from around the league and what's going on, to let you guys know about injuries, team updates, and any other things going on as well. Don't forget to subscribe for our channel for more Calcio content. And don't forget to click the bell to receive notifications on when we release our latest videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed our latest video, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Ciao!